We begin the ride at Sellwood Riverfront Park. After a left on Umatilla Street, we'll wend our way 1 mile through the Sellwood neighborhood to 17th Street, where we begin our journey south. At Highway 99E, we'll pick up the trolley bike path. Due to light rail construction, we'll have to take a detour behind the Kellogg water treatment plant and then through the Island Station neighborhood. Quick right onto 20th Street and we begin a short climb up to River Road. This is a 150-foot climb, topping out at about 9% grade. This is the first of about 7 climbs on this ride that totals about 3,200 feet of climbing. After about a mile of River Road flats, we do about a 100-foot drop into Forest Creek. Keep your eye on following traffic and the driveways as you make this fast descent. After 3 miles of flats or easy rollers on River Road, we do a quick jog on Echo Creek Drive, and the next stop is Oregon City. When we reach 99E and head south, we cross the bridge over the Clackamas River on the sidewalk. It's really not safe to ride on 99E over the bridge. Right after the bridge, we'll make a right turn on Clackamas Road, which will take us to Main Street. Left on 15th Street, followed by a right onto John Adams, and we begin our second climb of the day. The climb up Mount Pleasant in Oregon City is a 1.5 mile, 450-foot climb. It begins with a series of short, steep 8 to 10% ramps through the McLaughlin neighborhood. After the initial series of ramps, we turn left onto Lynn Street for a 1 mile, 250-foot climb with grades up to 8%. The good news is that after another 25 miles of riding, we'll get to slide and glide back down Lynn Avenue. After our climb of Mount Pleasant, we'll do a quick jog on Warner Milne Road, which will lead us to about 1.5 miles of descending false flat on Central Point Road. After the falls flat, we're treated to a 1 mile, 300-foot thrilling descent into the Beaver Creek watershed. At Beaver Creek, we begin a 1 mile, 200-foot climb that starts steep, about 11% grade, but then mellows out after the initial rise. After a fast descending mile on Central Point Road, we'll drop for the first time into Parrot Creek, and there we'll begin our next climb, a 4-mile, 470-foot rolling climb that begins easy but ends with the last mile at about 8% grade. If you want to bail early, turn right here at Township Road. It will save you about 10 miles and most of the climb up Spangler Hill. A mile later, you can bail again by staying right on Central Point Road and taking the steep drop down to Mulino Road. That'll save you about 7 miles and the remainder of the climb up Spangler Hill. For the rest of us, there's our climb in the distance. Where the road straightens out, the grade flattens a bit, ending in a short descent just as we reach Highway 213. After turning right onto Highway 213, we begin a 2-mile, 400-foot wide-open, fast descent to Mulino. After a right turn onto Mulino Road, we have about a 7-mile flat, beautiful tour of Milk Creek. Although this is an amazingly flat part of the ride, the wind speed and direction can add a hellish or heavenly twist. Just ahead at mile 26, we meet up with the Central Point cutoff. And at about mile 29, we meet up with the Township Road cutoff. And just a little later, at O'Neill Corners, we turn right onto Haines Road and start our heading back to Oregon City. Be sure to stay on Haines Road at the 99E junction. Riding 99E to Oregon City is not recommended. Just after we pass the 99E junction, we do a 100-foot drop once again into Parrot Creek.
Encerclé de vicieux moutons, ligoté dans la fosse au lion, j'ai peur de devenir aussi con.
The drop is followed by a 200-foot 1-mile climb to New Era Road. The climb is steep on both ends and fairly flat in the middle. As you set up for your left turn onto Central Point Road, be extremely cautious as to traffic, as people drive pretty fast on New Era Road. After the turn back onto Central Point, you'll drop once again into Beaver Creek, and there you'll begin a 1-mile, 300-foot climb back up to Mount Pleasant. This climb has a fairly constant grade of 6 to 7%.
Up and down the same old hill, on the train the same old crew, and I'll be looking for a change.
Although the climb officially ends at White Lane, you've still got an uphill false flat for about the next 1.5 miles.
For a change.
At the end of the Central Point false flat, we do a quick jog again on Warner Milne and begin our descent down Lynn Road. The 1-mile descent down Lynn Road is very fast, but remember you're in town, so be aware of traffic and speed limits. bottom, we make a right turn onto John Adams Road, where we'll stop at the Singer Hill Cafe for lunch and coffee. After leaving Singer Hill Cafe, we make a short drop down Singer Hill Road. Be very careful of the sharp left followed by some nasty railroad tracks at the bottom. At the bottom, we make a right turn and follow Main Street out of town. And just before the Highway 99 bridge, we make a left up the service road to the Oregon City Shopping Center. That'll take us to Highway 99 and allow us to go over the Clackamas Bridge. Just after the bridge, we'll make a left onto River Road. And after a little more than a half mile, we'll do the quick jog on Echo Creek again. After a few miles, we'll face our last climb, a half-mile, 100-foot climb out of Forest Creek. And a mile after that, we're treated to a fast descent off the bluff down to Highway 99E. When light rail construction permits, we'll catch the trolley trail down to Southeast 17th Street. But here we'll take a detour onto 99E and make a left turn onto 17th Street. And after a final short tour of the Sellwood neighborhood, we end up on Umatilla Street, where we'll meet up with the bike path and the end of the ride.